And we are back here on the GSMC Sports Podcast. And for the fourth part of the show, we are going to talk about Aaron Judge and the start that he's gotten off to. And can he keep it up? And how long can he play at this elite level? So, Aaron Judge is now 32. He's going to be 33 soon. I think he's going to be 33. Is it this month? Either way, he's going to be 33 this year. Yeah, he is going to be 33 this month. He's going to be 33. He turns 33 next Saturday. And with baseball players, you expect to see that level of production start to decline, as you're in your 30s and beyond that. But, knock on wood, there has not been a sign of decline with Aaron Judge, as he is now in his age 32, going on 33 season. Aaron Judge, to look at his numbers to start off the year, in 70 at-bats this year, he is batting 400. 400. And we're halfway through April already. He's got 7 home runs, 22 RBIs. He's got a couple of stolen bases. And he has a 1283 OPS. He's on a revenge tour. He was named team captain of Team USA for the World Baseball Classic. And the Yankees right now are in first place. They're playing good baseball as of late. They've won 4 in a row now. They won last night. Very odd last night because they were playing in George M. Steinbrenner Field, which is their spring training facility. But that's the race home for 2025. So it was weird, seeing them play a regular season game there. And they're the road team. They're playing in their road uniforms there. They're usually the home team there, but that's not the case this year. But yeah, Aaron Judge has been on a tear to start off the year. And it was the opposite last year. Because last year, he got off to a slow start. And had he not had gotten off to a slow start like he did in April, he probably would have broke his home run record. And right now, he's on pace to do that this year. And I hope he does. It's weird because every year, these last couple of years now, I just expect Aaron Judge to go out there and hit 60 home runs. That's my expectation for him in the regular season. And I never had that with a player. In all my years of watching the Yankees, I have never had that kind of expectation for a player. But that's just what he's been doing. He has gotten better as he's gotten older. And, well, obviously, yeah, that makes sense. But now, you're approaching your mid-30s soon. Is he going to still be doing this? When he gets to 35, 36, 37, towards 40, is he going to be able to keep this up? Who knows? But I do remember, if we recall, he ran into the wall at Dodger Stadium and, the toe injury happens and, everyone's saying, oh, he's never going to be the same. He's not going to be the same player. Well, I think he's fine. He won MVP the following year. And if he keeps this up, now I don't expect him to be batting 400 the whole year. No, he's going to come back down. It's going to come back down. But Aaron Judge can win another MVP. If he could stay healthy, which he has done, other than freak injuries happen. Aaron Judge has gotten hurt because, he's this big guy and, we've had, him get hurt from diving for a ball in the outfield, running into a wall, getting hit by a pitch. That's how Aaron Judge has gotten hurt. Aaron Judge is not pulling a hamstring. He's not, tweaking, a calf muscle. He's not doing any of that. Now, he has stayed relatively healthy. If he didn't run into that wall, also he was put on the COVID IL back in 2021. He missed, or no, was it 2021? Yeah, it was 2021. Yeah, I think it was. But either way, now I forgot what I was saying. With Aaron Judge now, they are the Yankees. They are in a position where, hey, they got to preserve him. And now that he's back in right field, I think that's beneficial for him because, now there's not all this ground that he has to cover. And at some point, maybe Aaron Judge gets moved to first base. And if not that, once Giancarlo Stanton is out, Aaron Judge is going to be playing DH. So they're going to preserve him as much as they can. And I don't think we're going to see Aaron Judge hitting, close to 60 home runs every year his entire career. And if we do see that, this might be, he already is on track to being one of the greatest. He already is one of the greatest players we've ever seen. And if he was able to hit close to, if he was hitting 50 home runs every year into his 40s, there's a chance, hey, he's going to climb that home run list. And he got brought up a little too late because he's not on that pace. I think he'll get to 500 home runs, but I don't think, we're going to see him get any more than that. Hopefully we get to see Stanton get to that because he's close. But, what we're witnessing right now is amazing. It really is. And, I've become very sentimental, in recent years. And, growing up, I never thought, watching the core four play towards the end of their careers, I never thought they were going to retire. And then they did. Everybody's career comes to an end. We see it across all sports. All these quarterbacks that have retired over the years, and soon we're going to start seeing that in the NBA with, that current era. We started to see that, but, at some point LeBron James is going to call it a career. Kevin Durant, Steph Curry, those guys are going to call it a career at some point. And we're not going to see those guys play basketball anymore. So there's a lot of things coming to an end at some point. But back to Aaron Judge, I want to enjoy it as much as I can because at some point it's going to end. Not anytime soon, but it's going to come to an end. And when that day comes, it's going to be sad. It's going to be sad, and someone else is going to have to step in and take his place. And he's the one that basically took Derek Jeter's place and, was named captain. So at some point you would imagine we'll see someone take over for Aaron Judge. But could he keep this up into his 40s? Again, I think it all comes down to the Yankees trying to preserve him and keep him off his feet as much as they can. I think if you see Aaron Judge primarily become a DH, I think you could still see him produce. I actually wanted to look up. Well, go back to A-Rod back in 2015. A-Rod. Well, also A-Rod was out for a couple of years because of the PED use and the suspension. But you go back to A-Rod's 2015 season. He hit 33 home runs. And he was, 38? 37, 38, 39 years old? Aaron Judge could do that. A-Rod's 49 now. So let's see. He's 49 now. It's 2025. He's going to be 50 in July. So let's go back to 2016. That was 9 years ago. So he was 40. Yeah, so he was 38, 39 years old. And he hit 33 home runs. Aaron Judge could do that. Now, that's a lot less than, hitting the 58 and the 62. And then I wanted to look at Pujols' last year. So Pujols in his last year, and he was with the Cardinals. How many home runs did he hit? Let's see. Pujols in his final year, he hit 24 home runs. And he was 42. Yeah. That's, again, a lot less than 58 and 62, but Aaron Judge could definitely do that. He'd definitely do that. Right now, things are a little different because, he's still in the prime of his career. And, Giancarlo Stanton has kind of got that DH spot landlocked as of right now. But Giancarlo Stanton, his contract's going to be up at some point before Judge's, so then you could DH Judge a lot more. Give him those half days off. Which, look, I love Giancarlo Stanton, but yeah, I'll be happy when they have that flexibility back. But listen, Giancarlo Stanton had a postseason for the ages. Last October. And he's been a good Yankee. So it's going to be sad when his contract is up and he leaves, because the Yankees they're not going to re-sign him. When that contract is up, he's gone. So yeah, going to appreciate him, and hopefully he comes back soon. But yeah, the Yankees need that flexibility. They need that. But yeah, I think Aaron Judge, maybe not necessarily keep up the 50 home runs a year pace, but I mean, I think he could hit 30 plus home runs as he gets into the later stages of his career. I think we're going to see a couple more years of this. I think we will see that. But who knows? But what we are seeing is amazing, and I hope this leads to something. I don't want Aaron Judge to go a whole career without winning a ring. He deserves one. But we'll see what happens. There's plenty of season left. But let's see what kind of season we're in store for again with Judge, because he doesn't have Juan Soto batting in front of him. Doesn't matter. He is still putting up fantastic numbers, and let's see if that continues. So we are going to take our final break of the show, and then when we come back, we will do our post-free agency rankings for the teams in the AFC West. So that'll bring us right into the weekend. So with that being said, for one final time today, stick around, and we'll be right back here on the GSMC Sports Podcast.